the date is Monday the 8th of June. So it'll be nearly a year since I've rode this. Today it's about going through my checklist just to make sure that it is safe for another year. First year I've got a checklist. I'm getting a little bit more forgetful with old age. I want to tick things off as I've done them. Anyway, so I want to have a bit of a checklist starting from the front to the rear. Especially as last year I started riding and discovered my rear wheel bearings were wrong. So front wheel bearings. Okay, forks. Okay, steering bearings go from side to side. Okay, and again no play. Front brake might need some adjustment. Clutch adjustment. I'll check it when I'm riding it, but that's okay. Speedo I'm going to come back to because I need to fix that. Tank. Okay. Seat. Okay. Spark plug. Socket. Stubby. And we'll just check the plug. Been in and out a few times, so the washer is probably over crushed, but they seem to work okay. It's actually a nice colour, tiny bit dark, dry. Let me go and get some. I'm going to set it the same as the Marini. I've got a vape electronic ignition on it. I think, there we go. That's a bit big. .7, good. Just a B80S. Gearbox oil is on the other side. I'll come back to that. Chain. You have to run them loose because there is such a gap between the sprocket and the swinging arm. So as the swinging arm moves up, it just takes. So that does seem a little bit loose. And it is pulling a little bit of the sprockets. Looking okay, all the teeth are there. Rear one, looking okay, all the teeth there. And the fishtail clip for that, it might just need, I think I'm going to leave it, because although it rubs on the swinging arm, when the swinging arm moves up, it does tension the chain quite a lot. I've talked again about my roller there, just to take it up, stop it flapping around so much. So chain, I'm going to say, is okay. Swinging arm bearings. I made new ones, they're just nylon. That's okay. Wheel bearings. I can feel a click, but there's not really any movement. I need to keep an eye on the wheel bearings. Don't know if this would show up, but the tang on the Speedo drive over the years has got so weak from the little notch. There's a notch in the front wheel that this little metal tang locates in. This is the original Speedo drive, so 1977. It works, but the tang's gone. I bought and refurbished on a previous video another speedo drive, and I think if I can, I'm going to have a go at welding that. It's quite thin metal though, or make one. Right, first check is that the drive is actually working at the wheel. Second check is to use my drill to see if I can drive the speedo cable to see if that will drive the speedo, and then we'll know which is which. So the drive is turning, the speedo turns anti-clockwise. I think I didn't have the speedo in enough. So let's tighten the collet up at the top. There we go. This. What's happening there? I've had to clean some wires off the inner cable to make it go in properly to the drive. The drive turns, the speedo cable turns. If I turn it with the drill, it turns correctly. I'm going to buy a new speedo cable if they're still available. Drive. This is my number one speedo. And if I spin it up, see it gets to about 25, and it feels quite jerky, and the needle sort of sticks at certain places. This is my number 2 speedo, which I was using until I had repaired the other one. New old stock, but a black face instead of a white one. And this one, the needle moves a lot more freely and goes up to 40 miles an hour. So, number 1 fault, I think, is the speedo's got all gritty and what have you. I have had this one apart and rebuilt it. I may be able to do it again, but it means taking the bezel off, and that's the dodgy bit. And I can't remember whether I've got plastic or glass in there now. So I think this one's going back in. Number 2 speedo fitted in the pod, fitted on the bike. I now just have to see whether either the Garelli Katia speedo cable works with the Hero drive and speedometer, or I need to find a different cable supply, because what I've been trying, which I thought worked well, which worked last time, hasn't worked this time. Maybe a week or more ago, I wired up the switch and thought I was going to have to solder, but you can see that they've got grub screws to hold the wires in. It's taken me a little while to sort out what I need to do with this switch compared to the original switch, and so it's taken me a little while to sort the wiring out, especially as I rewired it when I put the vape ignition system in. And of course I did that years ago, so I've forgotten what I've done. So at the moment, have we got the power on? Yes. At the moment, that is the switch off. It sits up here, so with my thumb pulling towards the throttle, it's likely to turn the lights off, not on. The first position turns on the pilot light and the rear light. The rear light's missing its lens at the moment because I had to tweak it to get it working again. And going in that central one are the connections for the pilot light and the rear light. Switch over again, and we now have main and dipped, and you can see the tail lights on, and I can't pull the brake enough because the side stands down, but the brake light still works. So what remains to do, and I was using the battery out of my Honda to power it up without the engine running, just earthed onto the frame. So now what I need to do is just swap the main and dip over, tidy up this wiring so I can put a sleeve on it down to the connector block, and then waterproof the connector box so it goes behind the headlight again underneath the speedo. So the switch is mounted, all clicks nicely, just need to check it. That screw you have to be careful of because it goes right through and can jam the throttle, but this one seems the right length. And then under the headlight I've just wrapped an inner tube around it, zip tied into place, left alone at the moment. I need to check it with the engine running. Well, I missed this on my safety check, so another thing to add to my list. This is the left-hand pedal that I use to kick-start the Garelli with. Always use the left-hand one because it pushes the big gear against the starter gear on the engine, and the shaft has a habit of tipping over. Anyway, I hadn't noticed, but over the years this must have undone itself and come out. There's a rusty section of thread on the inside that I've had to clean up, and it's just pulled, I'm very lucky, 1 or 2 threads out from the outside of it. So I've had to clean both off, and I'm now threading it back in. I'm just contemplating whether I need to put some thread lock on there or not. Not sure if this will make any difference, but I'll just put some thread locker on the last few threads of this, just as a belt and braces. I don't remember it happening before, so I think it's just a one-off, but it is something I need to check. Fuel on. Choke is already on.